Welcome back to the Second Life Act podcast. It's Sherry, your host, and I'm really glad you're here today. I've been reflecting a lot on my journey, everything that I've learned, the habits I've built, and honestly, the moments where I have had to pause and remind myself that growth doesn't always look like constant forward motion. Sometimes it looks like standing still, breathing, and just being, and that too is okay. Today, I want to talk about something that I know a lot of us struggle with: self compassion. We're so quick to show kindness to others, but when it comes to ourselves, we hold on to every single misstep, every moment we think we should have done better, doing better, so many things. Trust me, I've been there. And I know how easy it is to get stuck in that mindset. But I also know that breaking free from it, that's where real transformation happens. I just came off of this fast. I started on February 25th, and then I decided to keep going when I found out it was Ramadan. Let me tell you what I realized. I started on the 1 year ago anniversary that my friend passed away. Isn't that amazing? They say we are all connected in some way, and every single thing is connected, and I believe that. I want to dive into self compassion, staying the course even when it gets hard, and learning to honor our journey exactly as it is. This episode is for you if you've ever felt like you weren't doing enough, you weren't being enough, if you've ever been hard on yourself, or if you just need a reminder that you are exactly where you need to be right now, exactly where you're supposed to be. First, I'd like to talk about the power of self compassion. One thing I've really come to understand is that growth is never just about discipline, it's about love. The love we show ourselves when we're struggling, the patience we give ourselves when things don't go as planned. I think about my own journey, especially recently, with everything I've committed to: fasting, my 100-day challenge, my spiritual growth. These things have been powerful, but they've also tested me. And there have been days where I felt so exhausted, days where I've questioned, am I really making progress? Am I really doing enough? But what I realized is that the moments where I feel like I'm standing still are actually some of the most important moments in my growth, because those are the times I have to make a choice to be hard on myself or to give myself grace. And let me tell you, grace will always move you forward in a way that self judgment never can. So I want to ask you, when was the last time you truly gave yourself grace? Not just excused yourself from something, but really, truly, deeply forgave yourself, because that's a part of growth too. If you've been following my journey all this time, you know one thing about me: I finish what I start. I might take my time, I might pause to reflect, but I am always going to come back to things because I know they're important to me. Fasting and committing to my podcast has really taught me that. Even just the way I show up for myself in daily life, I've seen how powerful it is to stay the course, even when the road isn't always smooth. But let's be real. Sometimes we get in our own way. Sometimes our mind tells us, you're not doing enough. You should be further along. And I've had to learn to push back against that voice because I now know that every single step I take, even the tiny little ones that feel so small, they all matter. For example, there was a day recently when I just didn't have the energy to do everything I planned. My body was tired and hurting. My spirit was tired. And the old version of me would have been just so frustrated. But instead, I listened. I rested. I let myself just be. And the next day, I felt renewed and rejuvenated because I didn't fight against what my body and spirit was telling me. Growth isn't just about pushing forward. It's about knowing when to pause, when to reflect, when to simply just be. That's something I've had to learn, and I hope it's something you can take with you as well. I was just sitting up here thinking, something that keeps me grounded, especially on the hard days, is my connection to something bigger than myself, which is God in the universe. That connection shows up in so many ways: nature, meditation, journaling, exercise, taking time for myself, even just standing outside and putting my feet on the ground and breathing in the air. It is a reminder that I am not alone, that I am guided, protected, and always supported. And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in my journey. Protection doesn't always look like things going the way we want them to. Sometimes protection looks like closed doors. It looks like people walking away. It looks like the moments where we feel lost, only to realize later that we are actually being redirected. Remember, man's rejection is God's protection. I've been in spaces where I've learned I had to let go of people. I've had to distance myself from negativity, from energy that did not serve me. And at first that felt like a loss, but now I see it as protection. There's a saying that I want everyone to eat, but just not at my table. You see, when we start walking in alignment with who we truly are, not everyone can come with you, and that's okay. So if you're in a season where you feel like things are shifting, like certain people or situations aren't aligning with you anymore, I want you to know that's not a bad thing for either one of you guys. That's just growth. And the growth isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. And another saying that I heard is that people love leaves instead of loving roots. And they don't know what to do when autumn comes. Look at that again. So that was such a great talk. And as we wrap up today, I just want to remind you, your journey is unfolding exactly as it should be, even on the hard days, even in the moments where you feel like you're standing still. I want you to take a deep breath right now. And I want you to ask yourself, what's one way I can show up for myself compassionately today? Maybe it's letting go of something that's been weighing you down. Maybe it's taking a moment just to breathe and be present. Maybe it's giving yourself permission to rest. Whatever it is, I want you to choose it, because self-compassion isn't just something we deserve, it's something we need. Thank you for being here today with me. I appreciate you. I see you, and I hope you continue to walk this journey with love, patience, and grace. Until the next time, take care of yourself. Bye.